What is up, guys? This is Cam Hilliard from Miller's RV in Baton Rouge, and today I want to show you the all-new 2025 Winnebago View 24T. So before we get started, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to our channel, make sure to turn on post notifications so you can get an update every time we post something really cool or something all new just like this. Now, without further ado, let's get started. This is the 2025 Winnebago View 24T. So right off the bat, you might notice the stance on this thing. It's a little bit higher than what any other View that you've seen, and it's a little bit more mean looking, but still really elegant. So what this is basically a cross. Let's just say if a Winnebago Echo and a View had a love child, it would be the 24T. And I'll show you guys why in a little bit, but first let's start off with the look. It's a little bit taller because it is an all-wheel drive Mercedes chassis. This is the new 4-cylinder, so you went from 188 horsepower in the 6-cylinder to 208 now in the 4-cylinder. So you're gonna have more horsepower, more torque. Tow capacity stays the same at 5,500 pounds, or sorry, 5,000 pounds. Tow capacity stays the same. But the overall look, guys, this thing looks sick. Now, this one that we have, so you see you have the short profile front cap. That's gonna be standard when you order the all-wheel drive option. You can get this with the overhead bunk, but when you do that, it only is 2-wheel drive. Now, you can do the 2-wheel drive with this as well, but anytime you get the all-wheel drive in the 24T, you're gonna have that profile look. So really sleek look. All new paint job for the View as well. I think you guys are really gonna like what this has. It absolutely packs a punch. So let's scoot down the side. I wanna show you these storage compartments. All right, so down this entry door side, that might have caught your eye. We'll check that out in a second. I wanna point out the step. I love when Winnebago puts these steps on their product. They're solid. I could jump on this thing if I wanted to. It's got the flying W emblems. It's kind of like some grip tape as well. So it looks really sleek, but it's also very functional. If you see these silver clips on both sides, those are dog leash tethers, which are really convenient. You also have, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but you also have like some holes on the side here that would be great to attach stuff to as well. So that's kind of just like a hidden bonus. On the 24T, you're gonna have Alcoa wheels. These are gonna be new for this year, so they're gonna have the Winnebago Flying W in it. Just a really sleek, really good looking wheel altogether. Now this is huge for this year, guys. So you're gonna see this in the 24T. Eventually it will find its way into the other Views, but instead of the storage compartment doors that open up, so you gotta kind of bend under to get underneath, and those work good for a while, but I think this is a lot better. This is closer like what you have on a lot of Class A's, the door that opens like this, so you're not restricted to bending underneath the door. Instead, you can just get into this real nice and easy. Now on the 24T, you're also gonna have, I mentioned, this is the love child between the Echo and the View. You're gonna have a massive storage compartment in the rear, so let's check that out. Yo, what's going on, guys? So I mentioned this is just a massive storage compartment. If you've seen our video on the Echo, this will look familiar. If you haven't, either the 22A or the 22B, check it out because we did both of those. But the View is more elegant. It's not as targeted at someone who wants super rugged, really like off-grid looking, but at the same time, they're able to tie that in. This is the same material that you have on the Echo for your storage, so it's really easy to clean. You're not gonna really mess it up by putting like anything with jagged edges, like you put a little mini fridge that has a metal clasp on the bottom, you're not gonna scratch that up. This compartment is also fully insulated and heated as well. Also, due to the size of it, you can fit 2 full-size e-bikes in it. It does a lot. Now, one thing that you'll notice is different. I like the look of this because it does look a little bit more pretty, but functionally, I'd probably add this myself. It doesn't have the Molly panels like you have on the Echo, but that's always super easy to add down the road. So they kind of put that in your hands, which I like. So you can see you can access this from this side. You can access it from the curb side, which we'll get to in a second, or you can go to the main door in the rear here. So very nice there. And I intended to mention it a second ago, you do have all dual pane acrylic windows on this View as well. That's gonna be something that going forward, not right away, but eventually that's gonna be standard on all Views. So let's swing around to the curb side. I'm gonna show you the other door for this huge storage compartment and show you some more storage on that side as well. So down the curb side now, I mentioned this door. One thing that you'll really like that you already do have in it. So I said you don't have the MOLLE panel. That's really easy to add. You can add it on the doors, you could add it on the wall here, and I'll make sure you do it at a point that's structurally sound. But already installed, you have D-rings in here. So that's great to tie stuff down to. Since you can, like sometimes on if you've noticed, if you see on the Winnebago Revel has this, but it also has hooks that are already pre-placed at the bottom. So you're just kind of set. If this only had that, it wouldn't be that usable. But since you have these little rings, you can move this all across, so you can customize this to exactly what you want. Also, you have, I didn't notice this earlier, but you also have hookups right here where you can input your cable and stuff like that. So they've already got a pre-drilled hole, so you can run your cable up through without having to leave any compartment doors open or without having to smash your coax cable in this door. Above me, you're gonna have your Truma Aquago system. That's just gonna be your panel for that. We're not gonna jump too much on the outside of that, but we'll look more in the inside. So this is huge for this year. So if you've ever seen any videos on the Views, you've ever looked at them in person, you notice that, so yes, your dump is still down here, but your valves were under there as well. And it's not that convenient. Also, again, with the storage compartments that open up like this, you gotta kind of get underneath it to access your gray tank and your black tank drains. With the 24T, you've got it all right here. So it's nice and easy. Even if you're super short, this is really easy for you to get to. If you're really tall, it's still really easy to get to. So you're gonna have two switches in here, one for, yep, that patio light, and then another for the water pump. So I'm sure we'll find when we go inside there a few different switches for the water pump. So even if you forget to turn it on when you're in the bathroom, you can just flip it right there. Also an exterior shower as well. They call it shower from the manufacturer. I just say rinse station. Great for the dog, great for bikes before you put them in there. Not the dog, the bikes that is. Now, though, here you're gonna have freshwater hookup, black tank flush. Below this, you can see, since you can't open that, one of your tanks is probably beneath that. You're gonna have more storage in the slide here. And man, I just absolutely love the fit and finish this. The color looks nice. This has kind of like that woven floor material that, I don't know what else they put this in. I think in the rugs that you get for the Travato has similar material to that. I'm gonna flip you around so you can, or scoot you forward a little bit so you can see those two compartments there. We'll have our propane tank, and I wanna show you an all new generator that they're using on the new Views. All right, so I scoot you guys forward so you can see. Still two side opening compartments. The first one will open is where you're gonna have your 13-gallon propane tank here. And then you're gonna have your pump for your hydraulic leveling jacks. Now with the 24T, the dual pane acrylic windows, full body paint, the hydraulic leveling jacks, all that is standard. And then eventually, you know, later year models, I guess maybe like 26 or 27, eventually, I can't give you a date, but eventually that will be standard on all your Views. Now in front of that, this is something that is all new. So I've mentioned this in some of our older videos that eventually all the generators are gonna be going to propane on this size motorhome. This is a propane gen. At first I'm like, I don't really like it. I wasn't really that excited about it. But actually hearing this thing run, it's really, really quiet, and it's a lot more efficient than what you would typically have on some of the older propane generators. So first thing you might notice is where's the green? It's not Onan, that's correct. And at first, again, I was a little bit nervous, but so far I've been really, really happy with it. So this is a RV Mobile Power brand made out of Columbus, Ohio. We'll crank this up in a little bit so we can get the AC going, but really, really overall, it's a quiet generator. You get about 3/4 of a gallon per hour under full load. But the thing about this is you're not always gonna be at full load, and also you've got a 320 amp hour lithium battery. So we'll jump a little bit more than that inside, but just kind of talk about how you're gonna use that. All right, guys, so I don't normally do this and show you the room with the slide in, but with this, there's a special purpose, and that's because I'm gonna put it out for you later. We're gonna get to that. But this is one of the only floor plans out right now where you can use the Murphy bed with the slide in. You don't have to give up anything. You can still use it. You don't have to put out slide. So when is that convenient? It's great whenever you stop at a truck stop or a Walmart, basically somewhere where, yeah, you could probably get away with putting the slide out, but you're not supposed to, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like at your own risk. With this, it's not a problem at all. Hey, drop the bed, go to sleep, you're just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and put the slide out for you here in a second so you can see how open it is. But I am so excited about this, guys. And I didn't mention either, but this is actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, this is the only style, like Mercedes, well, this 24T is the only Class C that has this type of luxury that's built on an all-wheel drive chassis. Typically, you're going to have all-wheel drive, rugged. Or if you have Lux, you don't have all-wheel drive. So this is one of the rare combinations where you have that love child of both of them being together, and get ruggedness on the outside with the big storage compartment and the all-wheel drive, but inside you still feel like you're in a 5-star hotel. So let's check it out with the slide out. All right guys, so first thoughts, let me know what you think about the inside of this 24T. They make two different interior colors. This is gonna be one that's more like classic, elegant, and they make another one that's got like darker kind of brown, orange. It's a little bit more bold. It's really exciting too. I don't have that one for you yet. As soon as I do, I'll make sure to post it for you guys. But yeah, I really like the inside of this. So we showed you what it looked like with the slide in. Oh, I forget, I guess you already did see it, that's okay. So let me know what you think about the interior. But this is with the slide out. It is super open, nice light colors. This thing just feels huge. It feels bigger than any View has, to me at least. So to my left, we're gonna have our recliners. We showed you what the bed looked like with the slide in and the bed down. So that's a fantastic feature that you can access this bed and sleep in it with the slide in. The recliners to my left are electric. I'm gonna jump into that a little bit more in a second. To my right, so this is kind of one of the reasons why you're able to use the bed with the slide in. So you have I guess it's not a dinette. You have like almost a freestanding table that is collapsible. So it's really easy to do. You're gonna pull this up and it just locks in place, nice and easy like that. And then you're gonna have two chairs here. I'm just gonna pull out one for you, but two chairs that fold out. They have a little pad too, decently comfortable, I'm assuming. So we'll put this here. Now, first thought for me, this is not a huge table, but again, with being able to use the bed with the slide in, you can't have it all. Still plenty enough for two tables. And I guess this kind of just highlights even more so that this is a couple's coach. You can sleep two. You could get creative, find a way to sleep more people, but unless you get the non-all-wheel drive and get the bunk over the top, which you can do and that'd be fine. But this is still targeted for couples. So this makes sense to have a two-seater table here. And actually I like this little ledge along the side here. I think that'd be great for, your water bottles or candles, or really just kind of like setting stuff that are gonna kind of live there whenever you're parked. And then whenever we want to fold this table up, you're gonna pick it up. Nice and easy, just like that. And then for travel, you'll want to fold this and then hook it back to your little buckles here, which I think I might have dropped it behind. There we go. So yeah, so you're gonna buckle these back up whenever you travel, keep it nice and stowed away. I wanna point out that when you're sitting here, this is great for if you are able to work remote, or really if you're just, nowadays, technology is so much a part of what we do. On either side of the table, you're gonna have 110 plugs, USBs, and then on this side, you're actually gonna have like a little cigarette lighter plug as well. Now beneath that, I think actually, yeah, so both sides have a little storage compartment here, nothing huge, but the more the merrier when it comes to storage. Above that, you're gonna have a smart TV, JBL soundbar, and then to the left and right of that, to the left, you have more storage. We have your manuals in there right now, but to the right, you're going to have your cable hookups. You're gonna have your controls for your gateway. Yes, this does have Gateway 360 Plus on it. You're gonna have manual operation for the slide, and then for the bed, as well as a DVD player, which is kind of obsolete nowadays, but you've got it. And then beneath that, you're gonna have your Winnebago Connect. This is a fantastic system. I wanna come in a little bit closer so you can see this. The stuff that you can do with this is outrageous, guys. This is gonna absolutely change the way that you camp. All right, guys, so this is absolutely revolutionary. I think it's amazing. You'll see, as I mentioned, technology is more and more a part of really everything that we're doing, even in the RV market. This is totally new. This is gonna be, again, another one of those things that eventually will find its way into the rest of the Views. And again, I can't give you a date, but later on, a couple years from now, a year from now, I can't tell you exactly, but it will find its way into it. You can do so much from this. So you can control things from the panel. You can also control things whenever you're close. You can control things like, basically when I say close, when you can see the RV, not like with binoculars, when you can see it at a reasonable distance, you can connect to Bluetooth and you can operate. That's when you have more control of the nitty gritty into it. And then when you're far, you can get it over Wi-Fi, as long as the coaches have Wi-Fi, which comes into play with that 360 Plus that you have. Now when you're afar, you can do things, you know, you can pull your awning in if you forgot that. You can do lights, you can do generator, you can change the temperature settings if you have a dog in here or something like that. You're not going to be able to do things like slides and jacks, just because that you want to be able to see when you're pulling in to make sure you don't make a silly mistake like we tend to do. But as far as the panel itself, I mean, this is so insane, guys. So you can probably see, if not, for your like house battery status, your propane, all of this, you have two different increments. So you have the exact percentage increments of how much you have in each tank. And also like, so like that's good, because then I know like 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3 doesn't really mean much to me, but 49% means a lot more to me. Now even more so, okay, 49%, but what does that convert to gallons? And I gotta remember how much fresh water I have and do the math there. No, I don't have to do that. On this, it has it below. So you're at 49%, you've got 15 gallons of fresh water. I mean, it's so just brilliant. It just takes all the guesswork out of it, which is what we really like to see. We don't want to leave you guessing. Now going into guesswork, there is going to be a way where Winnebago can help troubleshoot with you whenever you're out on the road. Like they can actually, we'll eventually be able to get direct access to this with your approval, so they can help you troubleshoot. So you're not just like out there stranded, trying to say, yeah, I did this, I did that, I did that. They'll actually be able to see what's wrong with it and help you in real time, which is amazing. So gonna go into a little bit more of the nitty gritty now. So you can access your lights here. This again is something that's so crazy, the level of customization. So you can see the lights here, they all have percentage increments. I have them all at 100% right now. Like you can't just go, like whereas a lot of RVs, you can go brighter setting or a dimmer setting. You can do this, I mean, to the exact percentage, or actually within fives, which still, no one's gonna notice a 1% change in lighting. But I mean, you can change this to exactly what you want. Now, even better, you have preset settings. So almost similar to like on the Mercedes chassis, how you have 3 preset settings for your drivers and your driver and passenger seat. This is kind of similar. You have 3 preset settings. This, you can have a morning setting, depending on if you're a morning person or not. Like you could have all lights 100% in the morning when you hit that button. You could have them instead at like 60%, or you can have, you know, a little date night setting if you want, dimmed lights, you know, Marvin Gaye, that type of stuff. No, you can't do the music yet, but maybe eventually, I don't know. But back out of the lighting, so you're gonna have your water system controls here. You can control your tank heating pads, your water heater, water pump, all that cool stuff. Even you can change whether you're in comfort or eco in the water and in the water heater, which if you guys are familiar with the Truma system, just controls how fast it heats up, how much energy it's using. You can control your awning here as well. You can control, wow, that's crazy. So you can even change the setting of the awning light. I say that, it says 100%. It might not be registering my finger, but that's pretty cool too. You can retract or extend it from here. Again, you can do this from your phone as well with the Winnebago Connect app. This is an awesome setting here. So I mentioned when you're afar, you can use Wi-Fi to change the temperature settings, but even right here, you can do preset parameters. So you can change the max temperature it'll let the RV get to, and then the minimum temperature that it'll get to. So basically, instead of having to worry about, oh man, I hope Ruffles doesn't get too hot inside, you can know for a fact Ruffles not gonna get too hot inside. So I kind of mentioned earlier too, with the propane generator, you do have another way of running your air conditioner. So you do still have 2000 watt inverter on this, but now you're gonna have 320 amp hour lithium battery. That's gonna be standard on the 24Ts. On the previous year models, if you had, or even current year models, if you ordered the lithium batteries with the Views, it'd be 2 120 amp hour batteries. So more lithium than that, 120 amp hours more than what you would have on the other option. So you can run the AC. If you guys are familiar with the Winnebago Revel of old, the 2024 and 2023 Revel, it's the same battery that's on that. So fantastic battery, and you can use that, run your AC, and then whenever your battery gets low, you can crank up the generator, charge the battery back, run the air condition, and then turn the gen off whenever the battery's at full thrust. So that kind of brings us into the energy management segment down here. So with this, it's one of those things where it's simple, where if you just want to turn this thing on and use it, you can. Or if you want to get like super tweaky into the settings and change all this stuff and know exactly, you know, like what kind of wattage you have coming in and what kind of wattage you have going out, you can do that at all times. This is a thing that I actually really like too. So with the inverter right now, we're running the AC with our battery and have the inverter on. So it shows how much wattage of the inverter that I'm using. Like I don't think I've ever seen that on any other system. Maybe the newest Revel that came out, I don't even know. But that's just like such like I know, okay, with using 1200 watts right now with the air condition, I'm not gonna be able to turn on the microwave without shedding a load. So that's just really, really convenient. Also, it tells you exactly how much time you have left on the air condition and then percentage increments of the charge as well. Going back, so we've got climate control here. You do have the Truma Aventa air condition, which from any air conditioner I've seen, this is one of the most quiet ACs on the market. When you go to the high setting, it gets a little bit louder. Typically no one's running it on the high. You have it on medium or low. I have it on medium right now, and it's probably less than what most air conditioned noise puts out at low settings. So it's really, really impressive. From here, you can also operate your galley vents. You can open them, close them, turn those on low, high, medium as well. Same with the bathroom vent. And then you can even operate your slide out from here. So this begs the question, okay, well, what if this panel goes out? We hope it doesn't, and we don't think it will. It's gone through a lot of rigorous testing. Winnebago spent millions of dollars on this to make sure this system functions properly, but hey, life happens, stuff breaks. So what am I gonna do if that panel goes out? How do I get my slide out in? Well, remember we talked about, you got a manual control for your slide out. You've got also a manual control for your leveling jack. So if this panel goes out, you're not gonna have that, you know, freak out moment of, oh no, I'm stuck. You'll still be able to get out, still be able to do what you need to do in order to get you somewhere where you can get this thing fixed. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we always like to plan in contingency just in case. So now I want to flip you around. I want to show you guys this bed and the recliners, and we can also kind of touch on the kitchen as well. All right guys, so we are in the recliners now. The bed is behind us. If you've seen, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've seen what the 24D looks like. So the 24D has an electric Murphy bed that is very similar to this, but this is totally redesigned. So just like the patchwork on the back of this is really sleek. This looks really, really good and new. It was just one where I love the old views and I still enjoy the interior of those, but this is a little bit more contemporary and it kind of just is a real fresh take on it. I really like it. It's just, yeah, it's hard to really put into words other than the fact that it's just very luxurious feeling. It feels really, really nice. So in the recliners, one reason I mentioned the view as well is if you've seen the new recliners that are, I'm sorry, the 24D, if you've seen the new recliners that are in the D or any of the other view floor plans, they're electric recliners now as opposed to the manual recliners. An important thing about that, this seems like a small detail, but these recliners are 12 volt operated. So it may not seem important, but if you have recliners, and yes, these do exist on a lot of motorhomes, especially in the Class C market, where your recliners are powered off of 110 power. So that means either you have to have the inverter on, you have to have the generator going, or you have to be plugged in. If not, you can't do the electric recliners. Now, in most cases, the brands that have those kind of recliners don't have inverters. So basically, you gotta be plugged in and run the generator to do the recliners. Winnebago, they know that's kind of silly, so they don't do that. You'd have two little buttons here. You push one in, one out, and then you can rock and roll. Cup holders in the center here. They both have USB ports as well. They both have little lights. You can light up your cup if you want. And then if you needed to, you know, fit a third person here, or just if you kind of wanted to, you know, have a little date night, like I said, dim the lights, Marvin Gaye, then you can pick this up and there you go. Now, when you fold the bed down, I'm not sure if you were able to see it a minute ago, but what you'll do is you just fold these seats down, really nice and easy. And we'll show you that in a second. On either side of the recliners, you do have 110 plugs and 12 volt as well. So you can charge all your devices no problem at all. Right now I'm gonna jump into the kitchen area. So the kitchen is gonna be a little bit tighter on countertop space than what you had in the D model, but they kind of are able to make up with that. So you have the two, and is this yeah, so this is one big sink here, but you have the built-in sink covers for it. These are actually kind of similar to what you had on the old views where it's like bamboo in the inside, real sleek. But you know, you guys know I love the one big sink. My wife, she likes a double sink, but I prefer this. I love that you have the pull away handle here, so you can pull this away, you know, spray your friends, stuff like that. Little rack here, great for soap, great for spices. And you've got the pull-up plugs here, so you have two 110 and two, actually that's an updated one. So you have a USB and then a USB-C plug there also. Beneath that, water pump switch, and even guys, I mentioned earlier about the manual switches for your slides and stuff like that, or for your singular slide. You also have switches for the lights as well. So they've built in a lot of fail-safe just because they know that, you know, stuff happens. It's just kind of part of life, whether it's an RV or a car, it doesn't matter, stuff happens. Above the sink, big time storage compartment here. I like that all these compartments are carpeted. I think they're all like that. Not the low ones, but all these upper compartments are all carpeted. I really like that. So to this side, you're gonna have your one induction and then one gas burner. This is what they've had on all the other views for a while, so you're probably used to that. Above, you're gonna have convection microwave. This thing is huge. You could probably throw a turkey in there if you wanted to. Below, you're gonna have 3 drawers here. Now, only thing that I don't see, which I know you guys get really creative with this type of stuff, let me know if you've got any suggestions. Oh, actually, that would be it. So you could actually put a small trash can there. That was gonna be my one thing. I don't know where you would put a trash can. Now, it'd have to be a small one, but I actually like to have a little built-in grate here too to store stuff. And then below that, you're gonna have your fuses and circuit breakers as well. But yeah, so the countertop space in the 24T is gonna be a little bit less than maybe what you've seen on the 24D model, probably similar to the 24V, so not a ton on that one either. But with the little fold up here, and then you do have some little like TV trays that will go on either recliners too that can add as extra countertop space. And actually, I keep forgetting this, you can fold that table up and use that as countertop space too. So actually, with that folded up, it's pretty adequate. To my right, not sure how well you can see it, we do have your Norcold 10 cubic foot, 12 volt compressor driven refrigerator. I like this fridge a lot. I just like how fast it cools and the fact that the freezer will actually freeze ice creams. You know me, gotta have my Klondike bars. So now I do want to jump in. Well, before I do that, you actually have some pantry storage here, which is great. And I'm guessing, yeah, bottom and top, both great pantry storage there. Again, more manual light switches just in case. So let's jump into the bathroom. I think you guys are gonna be really impressed with what they did in the rear here. All right, guys, so we're in the bathroom now. And you've probably seen it all throughout. I love the little gold accents all over the place. It's subtle, but it's very elegant. Even you've got the Flying W here with the gold accent as well. Great little towel hanger there. The sink is, I mean, any bathroom sink you're gonna find is gonna be relatively small. I actually love, this is all like one piece built in. That is really sick. So you've got that, you've got sink here, so you're not gonna bust your knuckles on that, plenty of room. Full size, well, I guess not full size, upper body mirror here. The toilet is porcelain, and actually underneath, you've got, this could be a spot for a little trash can too. You've got some good storage under there, and then to the left, you're gonna have your little like medicine cabinet kind of, and actually that probably doesn't do it justice, it's bigger than that. Now what I love, I always love when Winnebago does these adjustable shelves. It just makes it where you can make it however you want. It's not whatever their engineer thought was right. It's customizable to how you're gonna use it. So I think that makes a huge difference and just makes it your own. Put that back, there we go. To the right, or to my right, we're gonna have our 2 closet storages here. So on this side is gonna be more like your organized point. Again, adjustable here. Pull out drawer, and then another one below. And then on the other side, you're going to have huge storage back here. So it is a full width closet. So this goes all the way back that way. Big clothes hanging rack here, and that's solid too. And then you've got what looks like that's access to your water heater panel there. So that's great to know. So access to the trim system is through the back of that. You even got 2 shelves in there as well. They're great for storing really kind of whatever you see fit. Now the shower in this is huge. So if you, on the 24D, you've got a full rear bathroom like this, a full width bathroom in the rear, but it's not nearly as big as what they do in the 24T. This thing is bigger shower, bigger floor space, overall just better feel inside than what the D had. So let's flip around so you can see the shower. I think you guys are gonna love it. All right guys, so in the shower now, if you've seen the other views, you're familiar with this, the clothes hanging rod in here. Could always have extra clothes hanging space. I'm gonna take that off. It's kind of hard to do at this angle. Okay, so with that off, it's just a normal shower. It's a lot bigger than what you've seen in other views. You also have a built-in seat, which is just really convenient, honestly. That's awesome. And then this kind of just looks almost like a hotel. It's pretty sweet. One thing I would probably, this doesn't feel bad quality. I would probably just change this hose out, or this nozzle out, to something with like more heads. I don't know. I haven't turned it on. I just got to see how the pressure comes out of that. But that's kind of just first thought. You do have the Nautilus squeegee door here, antimicrobial, so that's going to squeegee off all the moisture, so it's not going to mold or mildew on you or anything like that. And the good part about it too is it's flexible. So when it's closed, you can put an elbow into it. You can, if you're washing your legs, you can put a knee into it, and you're not going to push through it, or you're not going to like buckle it out to where water gets on the floor. Skylight up top here. I'm 5'11". I've got a little bit of space, so if you're like 6'3", 6'4", it might be a little tight, but in any RV, especially any Class C, you're not taking a 20-minute shower, so it's definitely still enough to get the job done. Yeah, this is an awesome bathroom, guys. And I forgot to mention too, above the toilet you do have a big, I'm guessing the brand is Max Air, but it's that Max Air style fan, that big fan that moves a lot of air. And this is a huge thing for me. This might be the first Class C I've seen that has 2 vents for your AC, so 2 outputs for the AC in the bathroom. Typically you have 1, sometimes manufacturers don't put any, which is just goofy. This has 2, so you're gonna get tons of airflow in the back here, regardless of whether you're in Louisiana or North Dakota, where maybe you don't need as much. But that's actually a great feature to have, especially in the South. So we're gonna swing back around. I'm gonna put that bed for you now and show you what it looks like when the bed is down and the slides out. So kind of like, your evening time routine, how it's gonna look. And then we'll wrap this thing up in the front. All right, so we're back to the front of the 24T now. Get a better shot of both your recliners here. So like I said, you just fold it down. And actually, I didn't show this earlier too, but this backrest, you can change that to be comfortable for the way that you sit. So it's all customizable. I mean, so much of this is made to, use it how you want. It's like BK, you can have it your way. All right. Now with the bed, it is electric, as we mentioned earlier. We're gonna open up our legs here. You could open up your legs before you put it down or after you put it down. This is kind of just what I do. Go ahead and lower it. Nice and smooth. I'm gonna wiggle that. And it goes down a little bit more like into place when you don't have the plastic on. We talked about this before. If you guys would prefer to look at something with the plastic off, let me know in the comments below. Typically I like to leave it on so the new owner has that thrill of getting to take off the plastic for the first time knowing no one's laid in their mattress. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. So first thing I see are 2 windows. Wow, that's new. Okay, so 24D, that's again your Murphy bed floor plan. Before this, you have window in the slide, but it's not this big. This is much bigger. And then you have, that's a dual pane acrylic window there, so that's another one that opens out like a food truck. So tons of cross ventilation between that window and the one across. Nice little headboard here, storage on top. And that it is a little partition between, but it actually does open up at the top, so you can kind of put bigger items in there if you needed to. Man, this is really nice, and this bed feels really comfortable as well. Memory foam mattress, and still tons of room to walk around. Now with the slide out, you can still have, with the bed down and slide out, you can still open up that table and still have room to get in between. Might be a little bit tight, but still very, very doable. Behind me, you're gonna have 2 storage compartments here. We've got them loaded full of your seat cushions here that raise the seats up when you swivel them, but this is good size storage here. You can get a better look there, as well as your window shades are there too. And remember guys, if you ordered this in the 2-wheel drive version, you can get the bunks overhead. Now if you order with the 2-wheel drive version, you can also get it with just this profile front. So that's kind of up to you. When it is all-wheel drive, you're always gonna have this. That's a non-negotiable. Just for weight reasons, you wanna go a little bit lighter. So when I lower or raise this back up, nice and easy, just like this. And then now we're back to party mode, where we're just hanging out and tons of floor space, no problems at all. So we're gonna switch around, kind of straighten things up so you can see the front. There's a new, I guess, accent package, if you will, that's on the front of the 24T. I think you're gonna really, really like it. It's just a fresh take on what they've been doing for a few years now. All right guys, so we're in the driver and passenger seat now. Right off the bat, you can see this is totally different. So it was kind of like a carbon fiber looking sticker package that was on the front here. Also, the front seats were a different color. These match with the rest of the coach, so the whole thing is streamlined, really pretty. Now on your Mercedes side, we'll just touch on this part quickly. You do have adaptive cruise control. You do have the tap to talk assist on the steering wheel as well. Really a lot of just creature comfort features that are very comfortable. I mentioned briefly when we were on the Winnebago Connect panel, you do have 3 settings on your seats. They are electric seats, they are heated seats as well. But your 3 settings, what they'll do, typically you do 1 for the one driver, 2 for the second driver, and then 3 is usually where you'll position it to the optimal position for swiveling the seat. So that part's really simple but fun to do. On this, you're gonna have built-in navigation. You'll have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, tons of cup holders on this. And then big upgrade for the new 4-cylinder chassis, just a safety feature here, is gonna be your digital rear view mirror. So you can do this as, you can have it as a regular mirror. Right now the engine's off, so it's not gonna show the digital part. Or you just flip this tab down, that turns into a regular mirror, this makes it digital. So just a great safety feature. All in all, I'm super happy about this floor plan. There are really there's nothing that really compares to it right now. I encourage you guys to find a local dealer if you have one who carries this to come see it. If not, we'd love to show it to you. For any current availability and pricing, check the link down below. We're gonna link some of our other videos as well. We'd love to have you guys stick around. We'd love to hear your thoughts too. And we appreciate it, guys, and as always, enjoy the journey.